And now we've got a pretty tough fight to predict, and I think that there's actually quite a few people on the side of Cameron Saaiman, but I'm going to be going with Josh Wang Kim, and it's mainly just due to quite a few things, really. I think that Josh Wang Kim's the better striker out of the two. I think that Cameron Saaiman is very hittable on the feet from what I've seen as well. Cameron Saaiman, also at only 22 years old, has got a pretty unpolished skill set. He's a lot less experienced than Josh Wang Kim, and you might say that and be like, well, they've got 6 fights and 5 fights. Like, well, how can you say that? But that's because Josh Wang Kim has got a very extensive amateur record. He went 15-1 as an amateur. He's also got a brother that went 15-1 as an amateur as well. And his one loss was a split decision to Jesse Strader, who did end up in the UFC, but had a very unsuccessful run. But that was in 2016. I can forgive that. But yeah, since then he has been fighting somewhat decent competition. You know, like his one loss is to illegal blows, and it's such a weird one because his opponent milks it, and then after he's throwing the illegal blows, um, yeah, it's just a weird one. Anyway, we'll just move on from that. But yeah, so yeah, Josh Wang Kim, 5-1. He's probably undefeated. He should be 6-1. Let's be honest. But it is what it is. He's got a very extensive amateur record. I like the experience that I've seen out of him. I like the fact that he has been fighting on the amateur scene for a while. Cameron Saaiman, a lot of his fights in EFC have blocks behind a paywall, which is a shame. But he's taken this fight on it seems like it's short notice, but it's not really. Like, it's kind of a weird one. This fight was actually announced probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but at the time, Cameron Saaiman still had a fight booked against this guy Sindayal Manangala, who was 8-7 at the time. And I thought they were just going to cancel that fight, and he's just going to fight Josh Wang Kim with a 4-0 record. But he just fought Sindayal anyway, and beat him a couple of weeks ago. So I think that's pretty cool. He's been active. He's been a little bit more active than Josh Wang Kim, at least recently as well. He's fought 2 times in 3 months. And Josh Wang Kim's fought 2 times in 4 months. So both guys have been active, but Cameron Saaiman fought 2 weeks ago, so he's going to be fresh off a training camp, moving into another one. I do think Josh Wang Kim's just the more polished fighter all around. You know, Josh Wang Kim's a great striker. He's got KOs on his record. He's got submission on his record. He's a really well-rounded fighter. I think that he throws less volume than Saaiman, but I think he's a more powerful striker out of the two, and I think that his shots are going to be the ones that are just doing more damage and playing more on the judges' scorecard, maybe hurting Saaiman at points as well. It's also worth noting that so Cameron Saaiman's only 21 years old, 21 and a half years old. So this kid's going to end up in the UFC at one point. He's a little bit older than me, and he's already in Dana White's Contender Series, so I'm pretty happy for him. He also does have an amateur record. I should point that out before I close it out. Where he went 5-0 as an amateur, starting when he was like 15 years old in 2015. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. We've got a 17-year-old fighting on Dana White's Contender Series in a few weeks' time as well, which is even crazier. But yeah, I think Cameron Saaiman, he's got a good skill set. He's got a better grappling game than a striking game, in my opinion. But I think that even the Josh Wang Kim is just so experienced. He's been fighting and training alongside some really high-level competition. Josh Wang Kim's been training with Alexander Volkanovski in the past. He won't be training him for this camp, but he has trained with Volkanovski in the past. So he's been training with high-level guys. He's been traveling around the world to train. I believe he actually went to Australia to train with Volk. But yeah, I'm picking Josh Wang Kim. I think he's the better striker. I'm actually going to pick him to win by KO on the feet over Cameron Saaiman. He's got a couple of KOs on his record. I think he hits harder than Saaiman. I think he's just going to, yeah, just win the fight on the feet, really. So I'm going to be picking Josh Wang Kim by KO. Hopefully there wasn't too much rambling in that prediction. It did go for about 4 minutes, so I apologize for that. But there's a lot to say about this matchup. There's a lot of unknowns about Saaiman, really. But I think that just from what I've seen, he's just a little bit less polished than Wang Kim due to the experience and maybe due to the level of competition that Wang Kim's been training with and somewhat fighting as well compared to the competition Saaiman has been fighting. So I think Saaiman's going to end up in the UFC at one point, but I feel like it might just be a little bit too much too soon. I'll be picking Josh Wang Kim to win by knockout on this one here. Probably, I would just say maybe like second round knockout.